Good morning and welcome to another edition of Wednesdays with You. I'm Abraham.
And I'm Lior. Today's topic, modern day slavery.
Although general slavery did end in our society in America in 1865, it is still in our country and our world more than ever before, with an estimate of 30 million slaves today.
Child soldiers, bonded children, forced prostitutes, and slaves against their will is somewhat common in our world today.
Let's take a look at the map.
This map shows more developing countries like Congo and other countries in Africa, which are considered to have a larger amount of slaves.
But let's take a closer look at India.
India has materials which typical Americans would not even think of being made by slaves.
Gems, locks, brassware, glass bangles, stones, garments, footwear, fireworks, rice cotton seeds, matches, and a lot more.
But let's first look at the beedi industry, hand-rolled cigarettes. Now let's go to Mills to talk about a story about a specific event.
Thanks, Lior. 5-year-old Alia is a slave in a small village in Kajuri, India. Alia thinks it is somewhat of a game to make beedis. Every time she goes to bed and wakes up, she watches all the girls in her village, including her mother, make the beedis, which are hand-rolled cigarettes. Alia's mother must make 1,000 beedis a day to earn as little as $2. To create a beedi, the slave has to place tobacco inside of a dried leaf and tightly secure it with thread while using a sharp knife. For about 12 hours a day, regardless of how long the 100 beedis take to make, Alia and the women in her family make beedis. Alia has not started making the beedis quite yet, but she is learning and observing closely through her mother. Alia states, "I want to roll beedis and give money to my mother. Let's send it back to the desk."
Thanks, Mills. Really hope to stop the slavery for Aaliyah and her family.
In the beedi industry, about 1.7 million children work in the industry because of their small hands compared to the adult-sized hands of adults.
Slavery is illegal in India, but many large manufacturers can find ways around the law.
Unfortunately, the health of the beedi industry includes tuberculosis, body pain, asthma, pastoral problems, and many skin issues.
Now how can you help with this industry? Help Anita Kumar of Plan India and help support the girls of India to stop child labor.
Let's move on to our next segment, the soccer ball industry.
American sporting goods and companies explain that there is no child labor which goes on into their products, even products with the no labor labels. But this is not necessarily true.
What really happens is child slaves stitch soccer panels on their knees with a sharp and pointy needle. This can lead to skin infections, and the poor sanitation of the rooms can lead to diseases.
Children have cuts and have severe back pains when working to make soccer balls in India.
Just like the beedi companies, large manufacturers in the soccer ball industry have some children work at home, so it looks like the children are not slaves.
This makes it seem like there is no slavery, making the monitoring of slavery harder to police and control.
Some children do not go to the school and work for 10 to 15 hours a day to help pay for their family's debt instead. It can be as little as pennies given to the children for that work they do.
Finally, our last section of the day, the leather industry.
The leather industry in India has increased basically because of the decrease of the low production costs of the industry.
$2.5 billion was made in 1 year and it is constantly growing.
Factories do the same thing as other slave industries. They go around the slave laws to employ children and say that some of the children are members of their family.
Leather sandals and wooden heels are made by the children who are as young as 6 years old.
About 25,000 teenage children produce these goods and have skin infections from these goods as well.
Respiratory problems can happen when inhaling the fumes of the leather.
So now, we ask you this: how can you help?
Reach out to your local communities.
Get involved with companies that try to stop the slavery around the world.
Become an activist to help abolish slavery.
That's all we have for you today, and thank you for watching.